Hi everyone, we are back with part two with Mary, and we covered a set of points in part one of the videos. Last few points we'll be covering here. Welcome back, Mary.
Hello.
Hi. So we'll talk about the job opportunities after masters and your take on that.
Yep. Um, to be honest, I think with our masters, we're very well equipped for like people hiring us, but I'm just a little bit apprehensive about the market that's out there. I know everyone says it's an employee market in the tech world, but in the tech space. But with what's happening with Google and Facebook letting go like what is it, 12,000 people?
Yeah,
I'm a bit worried about is there an actual market for us out there
yeah,
outside our masters? I'm not sure what you think about this, but when it comes to because the roles I want to go into after the masters is finished is more software engineering, more data engineering, anything just engineering,
yeah,
because at the moment it's very analytical what I'm doing, but I want to kind of build stuff. I want to create something because from a very young age, like I was, when you have like you buy something from the store and you have to put it together. I
yeah,
was the one person they will go to and be like, Mary, come fix it for us because I like all I have to look at is look at the picture,
yeah,
look at the picture on the board or on the packet, and I can put it together instantly. That's kind of why I wanted to be. I actually want to be a electronics slash electrical engineer in my undergrad, but we have a point system in Ireland for our leaving certs to actually allow us to go into university. And I just missed the points by a few. So I didn't get to go that direction. But that's kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to create something. And in the tech space, I think the engineering roles are actually ways that I can actually create something and build something from scratch. I just find it very fascinating. Um so for me, I think the job market out there, it might be a little bit tough in this environment that we're in right now. So I'm a bit apprehensive about actually going into it after our masters. But I think if the market was to actually calm down, then the world is literally our oyster. Like we have various companies who want us to actually apply for them. Like we've seen in the internship fairs or the career fairs that Trinity have.
yeah,
Loads of companies come there to hire us. And I feel like if things were to settle down in the next few months, then yeah, we have a wide choice of or a wide variety of companies to pick from.
yeah,
I actually I actually had an interview on Friday. It was a person that actually contacted me on LinkedIn and he wanted me to interview for this tech software developer position
yeah,
um with no code on a no code platform that he created. And it seems like I don't know, he just made me very optimistic that there is like a world or like a wide range of companies out there that want to hire people, because he was like, although don't be fooled by what Google are doing hiring or sorry firing like 12,000 people.
yeah,
There are other companies there that are actually hiring a lot more people. You just need to find them and you need
yeah,
to find the right application. So it made me a bit happy to actually come out of our masters and start applying for roles.
yeah,
um I think something that maybe if people are watching this and you're in Ireland and you're applying for jobs, it's there are different stages to the interviews when applying for a role. I know when I was applying for a role in my undergraduate, it was first of all your generic, write your application or fill out the application, write a cover letter, send in your CV. Then from that, you get a phone call or like a callback interview. Um, that usually happens, or you get an invitation for a technical assessment.
yeah,
And as much as I love tech, the assessments that they provide, it scares me because some of them are like they're very fun to do. They're like basically playing games. They're like cognitive tests, numerical tests, and memory tests. But there are some that are like heavy coding
yeah,
tests that like some people might not be ready for. They might not not ready for, but they might be apprehensive about, like me, because yes, I love to code. Yes, I feel like I have the skills for it. But you know, when you have a countdown and you're like, oh, it's 30
Mhm.
minutes for you to complete this. It's like tech test and you have to write this code in 30 minutes. I'm like, it doesn't take 30 minutes in the real life to write a program.
Yeah.
Um, so that for me, I'm not looking forward to. I hope companies have actually changed from that and have actually found a way to adapt that to suit the skills and needs of other applicants, like myself. And then after the tech interview, you either get, the tech test, you either get a phone interview or a Zoom interview or an in-person interview. And in some companies, that's the end. In other companies, you have your what's called your assessment centers. And this is basically when the companies invite you back to their building with other candidates, and they want to see how you interact with other candidates as well as interact with the colleagues that you're going to be working with. And they also give you, like, again, another like self-assessment or quiz or group assessment, group projects that you have to do, and then they like judge you on how you perform, and that's really good as well. But again, it can be very challenging when you have individuals in your group that kind of, they have strong personalities and it's hard for you to actually get words in, kind of make your views known or make your point across the entire group. So I'm looking forward to applying for jobs, but I'm also not looking forward to like the negative
Yeah.
aspects of interviewing.
Yeah. Thanks, Mary. That was very comprehensive. So next, I was maybe noting down. Yeah. So you were saying there is some point system in Ireland through which you get into universities. What was that? Could you add on that?
Yeah, so we have our leaving cert. So when you're in secondary school, I think some people might call it high school. So there are two sides to it. There's like the junior side, which is when you do a junior cert, and then there's the senior side when you do a leaving cert. So that's like when you're fourth, fifth, and sixth year. That's your senior side. But in your sixth year, you sit your leaving cert, and the leaving cert is basically made up of different subjects depending on the school. For me, if I can remember, I did, you have your basic subjects, which is English, Irish, which is the language of Ireland, English, Irish, maths, and then a language, and I did French. So these are your four basic subjects, and then you take on additional subjects that you're interested in. So, and also it depends on the course that you're applying for in university. So for example, I was applying for science, a science subject or a science degree, so math and statistical sciences. And you need some kind of science subject as a requirement to enter it. So I chose physics as my science subject, and I chose biology. Then we also have this additional module called LCVP, which is basically a vocational program. So it gives you an additional 70 points. So let's say you wanted, let's say you sit the leaving cert, you get 65 points in a specific project, subject, but you need the extra, 5 points. Then you can actually replace that subject with this LCVP point, if you get the full 70 points that it provides. There's a lot more that I can talk about the LCVP program. But just on the Leaving Cert itself, you sit a wide range of subjects. So I had the 7, I think, that I gave to you, and you sit that, and you it's a 2 hour and a half or 3 hours. It's been not a while since I've done it, but it's been like a couple of years since I've done it.
Yeah.
Where you sit your paper, your exam, and after 2 or 3 months, you get your results back. So only, if I'm not mistaken, only 7 subjects are counted as your points. So I think I did 9 subjects. Yeah, I did 9 subjects for my leaving cert, and only 7 of these subjects I choose to add up my points. So if you get, let's say, 100% in your in a subject, then you get 100 points. And let's say you get, I think it's like a C1. It's one of the grading systems in Ireland, a C1. Then you get, I think you get 50 or 60 points for that. Again, it's been a while, so I'm not really sure about these numbers. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
But your best 7 subjects, you add them up, and depending on how you perform when you add them up, it tells you whether you can get into a degree in the university. So for example, for sciences in UCD, I think at the moment it's 560 points to get into a science degree, a science undergraduate degree in UCD. So if you sit your leaving cert and your top 7 subjects that you sit give you points and accumulated points of, let's say, 580, that means you have the points required for you to apply for this degree, and you're also going to be guaranteed that you have a place in this degree in this university. But
Okay.
if you get, let's say the points was 560, but you get 530, then you need to wait for the next round of like offering, basically, because depending on whether the college is able to fill the criteria, so like the number of students that can sit this course, if
Mm.
in the first round they're not able to fill it, then they reduce the points by, let's say, it depends, it's different for different universities, but they reduce the points by 20 sometimes, 30 sometimes. And so you kind of, if this is a college that you really want to go to, you kind of have to wait till that second round to see,
Mm.
okay, do I have the points in enough points to actually apply for this place to actually get this position or this offer, sorry, in this university. So I gave the example for UCD, but when you're in 6th year, you have something called CAO points, or CAO portal, sorry. And this is where you actually put in the 10 degrees you're interested in, and it'll be across the range of universities. So I think for me, it's been a long time. I think I had sciences in UCD for number 1, then maths and stats in the arts department for number 2. In UCD, I really liked UCD. Look at this UCD. I knew I wanted to go to UCD, because of the community aspect. But yeah, I had sciences in for number 1, maths and stats in the arts department for number 2, electrical and electronic engineering for number 3 in UCD, and also in DCU, and also in DIT because I really wanted to do engineering, and then mechanical engineering because I love fixing things, as like I think 7, um number 7 in UCD. And I think as a fail safe, I had like different little smaller maths courses in DIT, or they call it TU Dublin now, and DCU. But your number 1 to number 3 are like your top picks. Like these are like the places you want to get offers from.
Yeah.
So if you get the points for your course, then immediately you get the offer from the top college that you want. So that's, I hope I explained it
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. That's a very good
Good.
insight. So when you were explaining this, I was comparing to what we have, the equivalent system in India. So it's a
Okay.
little bit different, but yeah, it made sense.
Makes sense. Okay, brilliant. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's very complicated. And they also changed the grading system. So it used to be A1, A2, A3, B1, etc. Now, like after I finished sitting my leaving cert, I think 2 years after, they changed it to like H1, H2, H3, and I'm like, I honestly don't know what it means anymore. But I'm happy that I got to experience the A1, A2, A3, that grading system, because the one right now, it's not clear at all for me anyway.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Mary. So we'll move to the next point, and which is, so I think you mentioned you moved to Ireland when you were 7 years of age, and
6, yeah,
yeah, and it's been a long time that you have lived in, and all of this while you have lived in Dublin.
yeah.
Yeah, so you would be the right person to comment on how Life is in Dublin.
Um, yeah.
From all perspectives, from a person working here, from a student's perspective, or a general perspective.
Okay. Let me start with the student's perspective. So I was very well, I still am, I guess, very academic. So when I was in my undergraduate, I never really kind of went out like for like partying or like kind of the things that kids do or kids did in their undergraduate. But from the experiences I can tell from my friends, the night out life in as a student is very good. It's very lively. You have different bars, restaurants, nightclubs in the city center, so like in Temple Bar or along the Camden Street. The nightlife around there is very good. Along Grafton Street as well is very good. But if you're like me, you're very academic, you also like to like engage your mind in different extracurricular stuff, so you can go to like bar hubs like the Hideout, where you have pool, snooker, pool tables. Oh, sorry, pool as in, with the like pool, snook. So, yeah, so snooker, which is what pool is. I'm trying to think. And then table tennis. That's the other thing I'm looking for. Table tennis. Then we have Leisurepex, where you have bowling, and then there are different places that have like chess games as well. It sounds a bit nerdy, but they exist. I'm also very into like the gym side and the sports side. So if you're into like football, rugby, we have loads of like facilities for that, loads of matches in our stadiums, like Croke Park or VV Stadium. We also have uh so like Trinity has a rock climbing club or rock climbing area. So there's also a lot of that around for students. Now generally, if you're into like hiking, there are various mountains across the whole of Ireland that you can go to and hike. Or if you're just into like mini hikes, we have in Dublin, in Dublin, you can get a bus to Bray and do like the Bray to Greystones walk. It takes around 2 to 2 hours, 2 to 2.5 hours. But you kind of see the sights of like the coasts of like Bray and Greystones, and you're walking basically on the edge of a mountain till you get to the other side. It's very nice to see. I would definitely encourage you, if you're in Ireland, try and do it now, because the cliffs are slowly eroding. So you want to make sure that you are able to do the walk before the path kind of collapses altogether. Or we also have Hout, which is like a seafood seaside area. It's beside the coast as well. And you can do a walk, so a Hout Cliff walk, and you get to hike kind of again similar to the Bray to Greystones walk. You basically hike across kind of at the edge of the coast, and you kind of see the views of like the sea, the water, and then the beach just down below. It's really nice. If you're into swimming, again, you can do your swimming inside the seas like Malahide, and you have like the sea there. Or you can go to Bray, where you can actually go and have a swim in the ocean or the sea there. Then you can also do cliff jumps as well, so jumping from a cliff into water. It's not for me, it's very deep, I can't swim that that great, so I just watch people do it. I know I'm not that brave yet. My swimming abilities is not that great yet. But no, there are lots of things to do, and that's just Dublin. That's not even outside of Dublin. Like last weekend, I was in Enniskillen in Fermanagh, and they have something called hydro bikes there, and basically you're cycling on water. Like, I'm not sure if people have ever done that before, but they have events like that. Then you have in Fermanagh, you have your staircase to heaven walk, which is basically you walk for a long time, but it's great views. You walk for a long time. I think 2 hours. No, sorry, 1 hour. And then you get to this kind of mountain, and on this mountain is staircases. And it's basically a very steep staircase that you walk up for a good 15 minutes, I think. And at the very top, you see this incredible view of, I think it's the county of Fermanagh, but you see mountains, you see this beautiful lake, and in the summer it's beautiful, in the winter it's amazing, but it's a bit dangerous because you're more likely to fall and hurt yourself, and it takes a lot for people to come and help you, so you have to get like a helicopter to come and help you. So you don't want to do it in the winter, but it's beautiful if you do it in the winter. But in the autumn, it's absolutely stunning because the grasses are a different colors. I think there are also trees, like little trees just there that you can look at, and they're beautiful. The mountain looks amazing. Yeah, I would definitely say look it up. Staircase to Heaven, the Google images are to die for. And when you're there in person, it is amazing as well. Then you can go to the other side of Ireland, which is Kerry, and there you have, I think, yeah, in Kerry you have this beautiful waterfall. I know the name. I think I know the name, but if I say it now, I don't want to like shoot myself because it might be wrong. So I'm not gonna say it, but there's this beautiful waterfall in Kerry that you can see, and it's just great for, like, again, if you're into nature, if you're into hiking, if you're into just like looking at beautiful scenery. Kerry's a beautiful place to go to. Then you can go to Galway. You can see I think the Burn is there, the cliffs of Moher are there. Then you can have underground caves in Galway, but also in Fermanagh. There's something called the Marble Caves in Fermanagh, very close to the Staircase to Heaven walk. And basically you're going to this underground cave. You can see the stalagmites and stalactites, and then the thing that joins them together. It's been a while since I've done geography, but like it's where they're connected. The stalactites and stalagmites are connected, and it's just a beautiful view. So these are just like things that you can do in Ireland.
Oh,
I'm Yeah, so it's quite a lot.
that many things were new for me because
Yeah. We're
I
gonna
was
go. We're gonna
actually,
go on a road trip now.
yeah, I was noting those down. So maybe when I find
I saw.
them. Yeah, so wow, nice answers. So your answers are really informative even for me.
Are they?
And yeah, so mm, it was actually interesting. Many of things that you mentioned, the caves, the waterfall, staircase to heaven. Oh, I was just imagining how it would look like from there. So okay, maybe sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Mary. We are in last segment. So which is tips to viewers. Considering maybe some of our viewers might be thinking of working in Ireland, some of our viewers might be just thinking of, I mean, first studying in Ireland. So from that perspective, one who is thinking of studying in Ireland, what should they think of before making a decision for, let's say, masters or bachelors, also? Call What colleges should they go for, what should they keep in mind before choosing a college, or a place, Dublin or Cork or other places, Galway, or so that's one. And two will be for job seekers, people who are just coming for jobs, they're already qualified and they're thinking of working here because you have worked here. So what should they keep in mind? uh, what should they be mentally prepared for? Maybe diverse background of people, working culture, and those things in general. So these two perspective, if you can comment. This is the last section, tips to viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite a lot. I hope I remember everything, everything. I'll start first of all with people coming here to study. I would definitely say do your research, research the different colleges, the different modules or the degrees that they provide. Definitely connect with people on LinkedIn. Message people on LinkedIn, especially past students. I know even though I live here, I did a lot of that. I emailed people, message people on LinkedIn. I also called the university as well and asked them a lot of questions. And also consider kind of where the state of the country is that you're moving to. So in Ireland, the rent prices are significantly high, very high compared to what it used to be back in the day. So definitely look at kind of, are you able to afford kind of the rent that is here at the moment? But also, do you think that like there's actually opportunities for you to actually stay in Ireland, because not only are there rent prices and increases in rent prices, but also the number of accommodations available is less. So there's less accommodation available, but the rent prices are high. So you need to think about whether you want to come to a college in the capital, Dublin, where accommodation is low, but rent prices are high. And can you afford that, or can you afford to take that risk? So that's kind of what I would say when it comes to applying for just university or applying for a degree or considering to move to a different country. Also look at the environment that you be going into. Are you one for, like I said, hiking? Are you one for sightseeing? Are you one for going out at night, hanging out with people, socializing? Is Dublin, or is the country you're going to, is that the place to go to that suits your needs and ticks your boxes? Or do you like to be in a city that is a little bit quiet? Like let's say you can go to a little city, or not a little city, a quieter city, like Galway, which is not as intense as Dublin, but it still has that fun factor. And so then do you want to consider a university that's closer to Galway? And also look at what the rent prices, the accommodation is in Galway. Just stuff like that you kind of want to think about. But I'll definitely say ask around, message people. People are willing to talk to you and to like provide information. That's what I found anyway. I think that's it in terms of the students or people coming to look for education, some in a different country. When it comes to people applying for jobs, I would say for me, what's important is the culture of the company. So what type of people do they employ? So again, LinkedIn, put into the search bar the company that you're looking for and look at the people that show up. Basically, are you seeing a diverse group of people? Is there a skew towards males, or is there a skew towards females, or is there a skew towards a certain type of ethnicity? Perhaps click on one or two profiles and see kind of what that person is involved in, and kind of get a feel of the person. If you're brave enough, which I think we all should be brave enough, email message them on LinkedIn, ask them, oh, what's it like working in Aptive? Or I said Aptive, but in a company.
Yeah.
And because why I say Aptive is because a lot of people when I was working in Aptive messaged me asked me what's like in working in Aptive, and can you give me, or can I give my experiences, sorry, to them. So I think that's really important. I would also say, again, go back to the accommodation rent prices, especially if you're moving to a different country for a job, see, can you afford it? Is your company, or is the company, whether you've secured a place in this company, are they willing to pay for your move, or kind of find your accommodation? Or are they leaving that up to you? So if they're leaving that up to you, especially if the climate is like what it is in Dublin, for me that's a red flag. Because it doesn't apply to their values of let's say being of kind of helping you out, or helping. I think some companies have different values, but if they value their customers or their employees, that company would want to help you make the transition as smooth as possible. So if they're not wanting to do that, then that's a red flag. And then I would go to actually reevaluating whether this is the company for me. So yeah, so values in a company, where the company is located, accommodation, the climate of the city you're moving to, look at the type of people in the company. And also, I would say go on Glassdoor. Glassdoor has a lot of information about what the company is like by former employees or current employees. And don't be afraid to talk to other people and see where other people are applying to, because they might be seeing something that you're not seeing. So I would say keep all of what I've said in mind,
Yeah.
and share your experiences.
Great. So that was a very practical bunch of advices you gave, Mary. So we are done with the interview, and thank you so much for your time, giving this interview, attending to all the points, and giving your thought process, your point of view on all the points, your suggestions. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome, Abhinav.
Yeah, so for viewers, we both are studying data science. We are classmates, and our it's a 1 year course. We are in semester 2 right now. One more semester to go. We hopefully will graduate in September.
Hopefully. Better. We better graduate.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll come up if with some other videos with some other points maybe next time. So this time these were the set of points we wanted to cover. We covered it. We hope it is useful for viewers, for people, for students who want to come here, for job seekers who are seeking jobs in Dublin, in Ireland in general. Hope it gives them a good insight into life in Dublin, studies in Dublin, jobs in Dublin, and yeah. Uh, Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much, viewers.
Thank you.
Bye bye. See you, Mary.
Yeah.